What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Colonel and most handsome dad, Garrett Morlang, and here, the virtual studio with me is a new guest. Sorry, all you folks who thought you were going to get Adrian this week, but let me tell you, we have an extra special guest. Maybe we'll take Adrian's job. Who knows? That's the, this is a job interview. No, just kidding. But here joining us tonight on this very special episode is the internet's #1 games journalist, Carrie Lambertsen. What is going on?
This isn't really Super Gamer Boys with me on. Although I'll be one of the boys. That works.
Okay. You're okay. Just for this time. Next time, next time we'll have to change. I'll make a new logo and everything for that episode. New album art.
There's no way I'm getting rid of Adrian though. Adrian's awesome, and my light just keeps going off.
No. Adrian is actually I don't know. He was kidnapped by some dudes and like black hoods and cloaks and stuff. What's the organization 13? Kind of look like those guys from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah. So
I thought that Super Gamer Bot took him.
I've also heard rumors that maybe Super Gamer Bot was behind it as well. He has been awfully mouthy to Super Gamer Bot, and I mean, to be honest, Super Gamer Bot's pretty mouthy back to us, but Selkies, I like that. Super Gamer Friends. Hey, that's great. That's fun. That's fun.
I like that.
But Carrie is joining us here tonight. I guess I should have had a better introduction written up, but I guess if you want to take a few seconds and just tell people who you are. And I mean, I can say one thing, you are an awesome, you've been one of our Super Gamer sponsors for a long time and now a new Patreon producer. So that's cool. Thank you for that. Big
fan of the show.
Yeah.
Love the show. I am, as you said, a journalist. I'm a gaming journalist for Screen Rant, senior writer over there. I am not on the show on behalf of Screen Rant, however. This is not related to my job. Right now, I'm just a chick who plays games. So
yes.
But I do a lot of writing lately. I've been getting more into the news side of video games journalism. I don't know what's going on with my light. But yeah, if you want to check me out, screenrant.com/gaming. I'm often having some of my articles on there. If you see any article of mine, you can click on my name and scroll through all my articles, but you really don't have to. I'm not trying to promote myself here.
No, actually, that's exactly the reason she has to come on. She's like, I need to promote to anyone and everyone I can. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Although Screen Rant in general, like Screen Rant Gaming, we have a lot of cool stuff that we cover. So, and I've got a lot of really awesome coworkers. So just go there and read all the cool stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we've done screen articles a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And
you did some of mine.
We did one of yours one time, and I think it was when you first got into our podcast, and then you were just like, "Don't do my articles again, please."
Don't do mine. I don't want to hear my own articles.
Yeah, but that all changes tonight. I think we do have one from you, but it was recommended by you. It was with your permission.
I sent it to you, so yeah. It's okay.
Oh man.
And I think I sent you guys another one once that was about Waluigi or something. But.
You did, and that was a very good one. We love Waluigi around here, and we'll be maybe getting into that later tonight too. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about tutorials in Civ 7, Bioware's breakdown, and PlayStation taking back PS5 themes. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Kajoma01, Crimson, Bumple Smash, and Carrie, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, and David Matthews. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, head over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month. That's right. $1 each and every month gets you episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, as well as access to our Patreon exclusive shows, such as Super Later Boys, which episode 7 came out a couple weeks ago. We recorded a new one, and hopefully with now doing these kind of alternate weeks on the podcast, that means we can have them more often. We can record them on Monday nights when the rest of our week is so busy. So thanks for bearing with us with that change as well. I know this is kind of the first week of that being in effect. Well, the second week, because I guess last week Adrian streamed, and then here we are with episode 272. So if you were wondering what's going on, that's what happened. you can read our statement kind of on our social media. Adrian posted it, but the TLDR, life's busy, but we want to keep making stuff. So instead of doing the podcast every week, we're going to every other week, with off weeks being for fun streams, whether it's a solo or both of us together playing games, maybe doing Super Later Boys recordings, or if we have other fun projects we want to try to do, gives us some extra time to do that. So, we'll talk more about our Patreon later on the show during our Patreon ad. I do want to give a huge shout out to Jack Sriracha, Yate, and DJ Trooz for allowing us to use their music on our show. Tonight, I believe we're listening to Jack Sriracha and Yate, my playlist over there. So nice. Go show them some love. They are available on Apple Music and Spotify. Links will be in the show description for them. And with that, it's now time to check the mail. But unfortunately, no Super Gamer Bot, which, you know what? You said earlier that they might have been behind Adrian's disappearance. That seems to check out, because they're not here.
They're both suspiciously missing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, let me go fire up Super Gamer. Oh, wait a second. They're gone. So did Super Gamer Bot kidnap Adrian, or did Adrian kidnap Super Gamer Bot? I don't know. We'll never know. But we do have 2 questions here tonight that I can read. Oh no, Selkie says, Adrian having an affair with GamerBot. Oh no. Oh man.
Start the rumors.
Well, this first question actually comes from, let me check here. It says Carrie? Oh, wow, man. Carrie's got her fingers all over this episode. I did not know
I was going to be on the show when I sent in a question.
Oh, man, that is fantastic. Carrie, you asked us, you said, Forgare, what type of game would you like a Waluigi game to be? And I could have picked another question or no questions, because honestly, no one else really wrote in other than Ranger, who he writes in every week, almost on cue. But I thought this, this is almost perfect, because we can brainstorm together. So here's what I'm thinking. What kind of Waluigi game would I want? So there is a game. Let me look it up real quick, because I got to double check I have my facts straight. Yeah. Okay, this is the one. So the year is 2000. And at this point, I think the movie with Jim Carrey had come out, The Grinch. Or maybe it was it was around that time at least. And so, of course, licensed games are a big thing. And they released a Grinch PlayStation 1 game. I don't know. Did you ever play this game?
I did not play this game. I actually can picture like the cover of it, so I know it when you're talking about, but I never played it.
For some reason, this is what I picture like my Waluigi game being. Basically, the whole point of the game is you're the Grinch, and you're going around and just causing chaos across Whoville, and it's vaguely connected to the Grinch story. They took a lot of creative liberties in the games to just do all sorts of wild and crazy things. But there is some combat. The Grinch, I have the Wikipedia up here. It's been a long time since I played it, so I was like, I need to look this up. But yeah, the player can jump, ground pound, uses smelly breath to guide his way through various obstacles in the game. As the game progresses, different gadgets are unlocked, which are used to complete different tasks. I just feel like this would be like a perfect outline for a Waluigi game, where it's not super combat heavy, but you do, you still have the ability to like jump and, ground pound people just like Mario and Wario and those guys do.
And you smell breath.
Yeah, well, so that's one thing I was wondering. I'm like, that I like that initially, but Wario is more the one with like the garlicky breath, right?
Yeah.
Like Waluigi doesn't really have, unless you could have like rose breath.
Waluigi is kind of like the creepy car salesman.
Yeah,
so, like,
he is.
I could still see him with that breath.
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm also thinking like he always has like the rose in his mouth, and he's kind of he tries to come across anyways as like a suave dude. So maybe he's like, yeah,
that's true.
It's I think initially I said rose breath, but now I'm thinking no, it actually should be more like minty, like they just always have like a lifesaver in their mouth, or like that nasty like just like mouth spray stuff to help kind of freshen their breath.
One of
It's
those
like
breath
artificial
mints.
and gross.
Yeah,
like that.
Yep.
That's what his breath smells like.
I could see that.
And then you could like persuade people, like you have do like a little, basically it's a charisma check. Like, oh, okay, let's see if I can persuade these people with my smelly breath and my, slicked look. I absolutely love that idea.
I like that.
Selkies in the chat says, Waluigi slaps the hood of the cars and says, "This bad boy." I love it. That's how I imagine it would start. It's almost like a Breaking Bad thing too, where he starts out, he does start out as a used car salesman, like absolutely kind-hearted soul, and then like someone wrongs him, and he just goes off on a tear with a Grinch-like attitude, where the Grinch is out to ruin Christmas because Christmas was ruined for him. So now Waluigi, something at work goes down, he's not happy, and then he's like, you know what, no one's going to be happy. I love it. I love it. So that's what I'm thinking. So
that's what you're pitching to Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. I want a game like The Grinch, made by, this was also published by Konami, by the way. I didn't realize that. The Grinch was published by Konami. That's wild. No wonder I love it so much. Metal Gear and The Grinch,
Perfect 10 out of 10.
Perfect 10 out of 10 games put out by Konami. Oh, man. I think we've got something there. I think we've got a good start at least. So Nintendo, hire me,
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyways, I don't have much more to add to that, but I also just want to talk about the Grinch game because I had totally forgotten about it. Is one of those things where like as soon as I read that question, I don't know, I just had this weird thing where it just like flashed in my brain again, like the Grinch. I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot that was even a game. And what's great is it's not even a game I own. Like my cousin owned it. And so it's even more kind of like a fever dream because like I would go over like and do sleepovers at my cousin's house and be playing it until like 3 a.m. This wild and wacky Grinch game. Absolutely crazy.
I wonder if you can get it. I'm looking to see if you can get it like on, PlayStation Plus or anything like.
I doubt it because it's a license thing.
Yeah, I don't see it on there.
But if so, that would actually be amazing.
It would be fun.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it though.
Okay. It came out on PlayStation, Dreamcast, Game Boy Color, and PC. Interesting. Maybe it's on Steam. I gotta look into this. Yeah, you might be able to find it on Steam. I might need to play this on stream in one of our all weeks. Start playing through the Grinch.
Who cares if it's February, March?
Fine,
you can play Grinch.
Totally fine.
It doesn't have to be just Christmas.
Okay. I'm reading here too. It was planned. It released 1 week before the film, so that makes sense. So it came out.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. Well, that's enough of that. Let's get on to a real question that people actually care about.
Real question.
And not like one of Garrett's crazy fever dreams. Rangers.
Hey, my question was a real question.
No, it was a great question. It just, my answer is absolutely insane. Everyone's like, okay, Gary, yeah, okay, if you say so.
Honestly, I think that's a great idea. But yeah, anyway, continue.
All right. Ranger writes in with his absolute encyclopedia here. Massive novel. Ranger's weekly Juice of Jazz is here to invade your lug holes. Now, I just want to say one thing. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know if I want to know what any of that means, but let me tell you, it was a pleasure to read. Ranger's Weekly Juice of Jazz is here to invade your lug holes. I will be honest, I did look up lug holes before the show to make sure it was appropriate to say. And to those who don't know, it's just ears. It's just ears, but I didn't know that. It had me scared for a second. All right. It says boys, but I'm going to change that to friends. I'm going to have to edit on the fly here. All right. Friends, since it's a new year, I thought it might be fun to do a few multi-part questions rounds on the same theme peppered throughout the year. Oh yeah, I'm ready. People have long talked about gaming obsessions or fixations that gamers find themselves completely locked into. Now, there are many, many aspects of gaming that hook us, but to what degree? I figured that this would be part one of our bad gaming habits we are simply guilty of or we find too good to resist. This entry will feature and explore the first 4 habits, and sometime down the road, the next 4 habits will present themselves. Yes, there's an ever-evolving list. Your question challenge for this week is to react to each of the first 4 gaming habits. Which habits are you most guilty of, and with what games? Let's go. Number 1. Staying up into the late night hours to play games. I, at times, am very guilty of playing games into 2 or even 3 in the morning. Sometimes I simply have to get to the next chapter, checkpoint, or level. Final Fantasy 16 and Rebirth were played into many early morning hours. And then parentheses, he says, Adrian, get it together and play these games. I agree. I agree, Adrian. What are you doing? Number 2 is grinding. Oh, I love a good JRPG. Sometimes there's no better mental break for me.
Well, wait, should we stop and answer questions before we just read them all?
Okay, yeah, we could do that.
I'm not going to remember them.
Okay. Sometimes I'll read it. Sometimes I read it, and then when we answer, I kind of recap it. But yeah,
okay.
This is a long one, so maybe it's not a bad idea. Okay, so staying up in the late hours.
My memory is not that good.
Is this something that you are guilty of, staying up super late to play a game, or are you a responsible adult who goes to bed on time?
I am 100% guilty of this. When I was married and, had someone else in my house watching what I was doing, then I was much better about going to bed on time because he was kind of a stickler for getting up earlier.
Okay.
And now, I work from home. I basically work my own hours other than days like tomorrow when I have like an early meeting or I'm interviewing somebody. Otherwise, pretty much everything in my life is flexible. Mm-hmm. And I am absolutely a night owl. So I will regularly stay up until 1, 2, sometimes 4.
Yeah.
Rarely 4, but I did that a couple nights ago. But often I'm like 1 o'clock. Last night I think was 2.
I'm also historically a night owl. I'll say it that way, if that makes sense. I recently...
Well, now you have kids, too.
Recently, It's been harder. I mean, even with kids, I've been a night owl up until really my new job. Like when September hit and I got my new job, this job it just takes it out of me. It's a lot more involved than almost any job I've ever had before, both mentally and physically. But historically, man, I was stay up way too late, even on work nights. I mean, I remember, Salkies is in the chat. That's how we kind of got connected through. It was 2020, COVID's happening. Everyone's locked in place. I was still working at the time. That's just how my job worked because I did pest control, which was a public service thing that had to happen, public safety, doing pest control. Yeah. So that didn't stop. Yeah, that didn't stop. So I had work at, be up at 6:30 in the morning, and we're staying up till 3 in the morning playing Secret Hitler or playing Among Us or whatever the big games were at the time.
Yeah.
And that's just how I rolled. And I did that for, quite a few years before that and after. It's just how I was. But yeah, it's changed a lot recently. Now I get home and I'm it's 9:30. It's past my bedtime. I'm I need to go to bed. I feel old, but I do. But I don't know. But at the same time, I do generally get a bigger burst of energy at the end of the day. I get home and then I'm okay, yeah, I'm feeling I could do some stuff. But it's just whether I have the willpower to actually you keep continuing that energy or just go sit on the couch and waste it and then go to bed.
I'm usually I know that if I went to bed at 11, I could probably fall asleep. But also usually that is when I'm, deep in a video game and I'm but I want to keep going.
Right.
Nobody's here. Nobody cares. But yeah.
Oh, man.
Also, I find it funny that you're talking about how old you are when I'm old enough to be your mother.
Oh, well, no.
Not that much, but I'm a lot older than you. Like I said, I'm entering my grandma era. So.
No, I just feel old, and that's probably just years of not taking care of my body and staying up way too late and not, doing things I should to be healthier. Man, yeah. What's the last game you can think of that maybe the last 2 games that you can think of that you've done that? What's the most recent game you've stayed up?
Last night. Last night I was doing that with Hello Kitty.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Yeah. No, usually lately it's been Infinity Nikki. Because I'll work late a lot of times too. But then, I'll be getting ready for bed. I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't get my daily, whatever, the free things that you can get. And
right.
So it's like, I'll just log in and just claim the freebies. And then of course I keep playing. And
yeah, right. It's like, I just need to check in real quick. Oh, actually, let's keep this going. I think my most recent one was probably Final Fantasy Rebirth as well. That one really got me because I loved remakes so much, so I was stoked for Rebirth. And but also Baldur's Gate 3, both when it first came out, and then chronologically, this last weekend I was in Indianapolis visiting my buddy Sir Prince-A-Lot. He writes in on the show sometimes. Actually, shout out to Sir Prince-A-Lot hooking me up with the Inland.
Oh, nice.
Inland clothes. If you see me on social media posting about that, it's my buddy's business. So I got some sweet stuff. Got the hookup over there.
That's
but
awesome.
we stayed up until like 1-2 o'clock. Like the 3 or 4 nights I was there, just staying up playing Baldur's Gate 3 co-op on this PS5, which I'd never done like couch co-op with Baldur's Gate 3. That's a freaking blast. It was so much fun because you're just like you're on the same screen together, running around doing stuff. And I'm like, I didn't even know you could do this because I've only played on PC. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Kind of got to relive a little bit of the staying up late days, when
that's funner when you have someone like right there with you playing too.
That makes a difference. Yeah, a big difference when it's like, okay, you're right there together, feeding off each other's energy. It's not like, oh, I got to go log on and get on Discord and sitting alone in a room.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, let's go on to number 2 here then. Grinding. Oh, I love a good JRPG. Sometimes there's no better mental break for me than to settle into a grind for an hour or two and enter the soothing state of meditation. Any of the Atelier, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, Pokemon, Persona games come to my mind. I've never been one for grinding.
Yeah.
In fact, that usually turns me off on a game. If there's any sort of grinding, Adrian's going to hate to hear this, but when because I was live streaming Kingdom Hearts 2 for a while, me doing a playthrough, and I literally got to a part where it's like, oh, I'm not strong enough. I needed to level my character up more. I'm like, what? What are you kidding me? Like, why would I just want to play the game? Just let me play the dang game. And it's like, no, you got to go grind and like level up. I'm like, no, I'm not going to, at least not on stream. So I just kind of I haven't gone back to it. I want to eventually go back to it, but it's hard for me to do. That is something where, when I come across something where I can't just play it outright, it's like, if you can't respect my time, then I'm not going to give you the time of day kind of thing, which maybe isn't the best attitude to have. But at this point, time is precious for me. So I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I just got to take a break on that one. But what about you? Are you like, because some people love that because they just pop in music or podcast and then just go to town.
Well,
like, do you enjoy that? Or
when it's grinding combat, like what you're saying, where you need to get a few more levels, go kill some monsters and stuff, I hate it. I don't like grinding combat. But, and I know that this makes no sense, but if it's grinding something like I'm playing World of Warcraft and I'm trying to get an achievement for fishing or something that. Oh, I'll totally turn on podcasts or, something on my second monitor to watch and just fish for all night. So it's like, I don't know why I don't like the combat if I'm willing to do, crafting or fishing or running around picking flowers. That is fine for me. But if it's, keep running the same dungeon over and over and over and over.
Right.
That's not fun to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's like, if I'm going to be killing things, I want to be progressing. Right.
So. Yeah, exactly. I think that kind of makes sense too, because a lot of times those like with the collecting things, there can be a little variation to it, like whether it's a different location or if it's fishing, maybe you're catching different fish or whatever. Like there's where with combat, like you're saying, it's just like, all right, it's gotta like there's these tried and true rooms where like even in Kingdom Hearts 2, like some guy was watching my stream when I got to that point. He's like, oh, just go to this part and just like keep leaving and coming back in the room and doing it over and over again. And I'm like, all right, but I'm just fighting the same enemies over and over again. I'm gonna level up, but this isn't fun.
And you're in the exact same area, you're seeing the exact same stuff.
Yeah. But my big mistake was on honestly, when we started the stream, I was choosing my difficulty and I almost put it on like just easy mode because I was including like the HD collection. And someone's like, oh no, you can do it. Just do normal. You'll be fine. Now I'm like, yeah, screw you guys. I shouldn't have listened to you. I'll never listen to chat again. Everyone knows I'm a bad gamer. All right. Like, how dare you trick me into playing normal?
I used to always try like hard or nightmare mode first in games because I just always wanted to, prove that I'm a hardcore gamer. And like in the last couple years, especially writing for Screen Rant, where I have to play so many games to be able to write about them, or play a review game where I only have like 24 hours to beat Dragon Age or something. They actually gave me a lot of time, but like now I'm always like easy mode. That sounds great. I'll do easy.
I think too with like Kingdom Hearts, I was under the assumption like, oh, I'll just drop it later. But no, once it's locked in, you're stuck with it. And I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, you can't change it.
You can't change it. Not great. Let's move on to number 3 here. Trophy hunting. For me personally, I'm happy to earn a trophy, but I certainly don't independently seek them out. There's no time for that. I'm a busy boy. I agree with that. I always have aspirations of like platinuming a game. I think, 2023? I was like, by the end of this year, I'm going to get the platinum for Death Stranding. That never happened. I think I said the same thing last year too. Spoiler alert, or update, I guess. I didn't get the platinum for Death Stranding last year either. But it's, I don't know. Trophies are fun to get, but it's never been like, I've never been a trophy hunter or achievement hunter or anything. I don't know. Are you into that as well? Or
I am 100% a trophy hunter, which... Going back to what I just said about how a lot of times I'll be playing a game quickly to review it or to talk about it, in articles and stuff. It kills me.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
I want all of the trophies. I want that platinum trophy. I want all of the Steam achievements. I want all of the achievements in WoW. And it's like, I can't let myself do them if I'm going to, be productive for work.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. A lot of times, like when it's a game that I'm just playing for myself, just, for fun or to relax or whatever, I am all about the trophies. That's the first thing I look at. In fact, my friend, he wanted me to get into Classic WoW. And I tried it for a little bit and I was like, I don't get credit in here. I don't get achievements. My achievements on retail WoW, like that's what I play for. Yeah. And so, it's like sorry, I can't do classic because I don't get achievements. No. I'm wasting my time.
It's not worth my time. That's actually crazy. I'm gonna be it's not like that's crazy to my in my mind because that's like. Not why I play games. But I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. It's totally like you can like that.
I know I'm crazy.
It's just funny to like for me to like me computing that in my brain. Like that's crazy. Like be like, no, I'm not getting achievements. It's not worth it. But that's funny. This is how different people could go.
Like when I am reviewing a game, I do make myself focus. Get the story, get the main questions that I need for the review answered, and beat the game as long as it's humanly possible to beat the game in the time they give me.
Right.
And so for those, I do just try to blast through. But oh man, it kills me.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine.
I'm always just like, I want to go see what's over there. Yeah.
I mean, man, so I'm not necessarily actually. You know what? This is the next question. Let's move on to the next one. I was about to say something. I realized it was number 4, so I'll wait. Number 4, opening the map. This is a big one for me. It's just too tempting to unfog the map. What is over there? Did I miss something? Is that a secret? Can I get to that area of the map? Let me explore. I can't resist uncovering the map. Ghost of Tsushima, Avatar, Star Wars Outlaws, Horizon, etc. This is the thing I am most guilty of. Honestly, unfortunately so, it's the reason why I don't finish most games because I get so distracted where I'll spend like, I spent 100 hours playing whatever game, never beat it because I just kind of like explored everything. And then my brain kind of like the dopamine levels of finding new things kind of just like shuts off, like it's done. Like, okay, no more like, I don't know. I usually play games for story, but there's a few games where I'm like, this is fun. Like I think of like Breath of the Wild. I put so much time into that game. and I never beat it.
Yeah.
Because I like explored everything and did a bunch of cool stuff, but I like never actually finished. I think I have like 1 or 2 more of the beast left, and I never even fought Ganon.
I did that with Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, and it's just like I get so focused on just like finding every little nook and cranny and secret in a game, almost to a fault. Like even in Baldur's Gate 2, it's crippling because it's just like, I'm like, wait, is that a secret? Ooh, is there something over there? Oh, there might be someone I can talk to behind that thing, and I never get anywhere. Like, I think I put dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of hours into Baldur's Gate, and I'm still in Act 1. I don't even think I made it to Act 2.
I don't think anyone could 100% Baldur's Gate. I know people have, but oh my gosh, yeah.
But yeah, so this is I'm 100% guilty of. But are you the same way?
I love to clear out, clear out the fog of war, see everything on the whole map. What really gets me is when I'm playing Diablo or a game like that, where every time you log in, it's like procedurally generated or whatever, like the maps are changed. Yeah. And it's like, I can't do this. It all goes away. Yeah. So,
well, what I always did with those though is because you go into like a new room or something. I would still like explore. I would do the level until I found the ending, but before I ended, I would actually backtrack and go try to like open everything up, which was like would waste so much time. It's like I found everything I needed to find, but it's like, oh, I'd wasted so much time. Yeah, and like Diablo 3 and stuff, like going back and like, nope, I gotta make sure I didn't miss the one stupid little item that I'm not even gonna use. Oh man.
And really quick for video people, I know podcast users or podcast listeners aren't gonna care, but my cat, if you're seeing the bouncy butt that just walked off screen, she is disabled, so that's why she's got the bouncy butt. That's why I have ramps everywhere, things like that. So and you're probably gonna see her using the ramp, but she has feline cerebellar hypoplasia, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, so her back end she can't really control it very well, but that's why she's got a bouncy butt.
Oh man! Anyway, you have another one around too, right?
I do. Tinkerbell. Yeah, she causes a lot of trouble. She left when I started talking, so I don't. She messed up my light, and so again, for anyone watching this, seeing my light going on and off, I think she got it like just barely out of its socket, and now it keeps flickering off. So.
Oh man!
I think I've got it right now again, but I was trying to like adjust it with my foot without being obvious. I'm gonna like electrocute myself.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Tinkerbell and Minnie Mouse. That was Minnie Mouse that just left. But
man. So yeah, opening up maps. That's my kryptonite. Honestly, I love open world games and I hate them. This is a love-hate relationship there because it's like, ooh, fun stuff to explore, but also I'm not finishing this game. That's how this is going to go.
Going back to the whole achievement thing, that I have to get all the achievements.
Yeah,
usually
that's rough too.
Opening up the map,
that's like a double whammy.
It's usually one of them. So
yeah, crazy. Oh man, well that's all from Ranger. Well, he says, all right, in the future, the next 4 guilty gaming habits will need reacting to, so get to it. P.S. Severance on Apple TV is so good. I think it's beginning to break my brain. He suggests a lot of movies and TV shows in his old PS on every time he writes in. This is probably one of the first ones I've actually seen. I just watched it last weekend on my flight to and from Indianapolis, and I binged the entire season on the plane ride there and back. And let me tell you, this show is freaking amazing.
Cool.
I've heard of it, seen it. I was always interested in it, but we didn't have Apple TV Plus. And then I recently got a new iPad, and you get like a bunch of free trial for all their stuff. So we got a free month of Apple TV. I'm like, sweet. All right, I'll check this out. It was so good. I binged it on the flight there and back. And then when I got back, I told my wife, I'm like, you need to watch this show. This is such a good show. Season 2 is coming out right now, and they're releasing it week by week. And I'm like, I will not continue on. I will hold off, and I will rewatch season 1 with you. It's just so we can like watch it together. So like we're rewatching season 1 right now, and even watching it a second time, I'm like, this is so good. This is so amazing.
That's great.
So I also highly recommend Severance on Apple TV. It is fantastic. Adam Scott is such an amazing actor. I really only knew him from Parks and Rec, and I loved him in that. Like he's one of my was one of my favorite characters in that. Ben Y, I think that's the character he plays. Hilarious. But I don't know. I've never seen him in a serious role. I'm like, he's really good. Like, this is so good. So if you have Apple TV Plus, or even if you don't, you can get it like a free trial or something. Check it out, because season 1's completely out. And then season 2, they're releasing weekly right now. I think it's like episode 2 or 3 is out at this point. So
that's
super
great.
good.
I haven't seen it. I'm not really a TV watcher other than like Critical Role. So
yeah, me neither. Usually I'm not either. I don't know, especially recently. I feel like movies and TV in general, like we watch less and less of. Honestly, like we cancel a lot of our TV subscriptions, and we mainly just use YouTube Premium to watch stuff on YouTube. Have ad-free viewing on YouTube. But this is one thing I'm like, oh no, this is actually really freaking good. So highly recommend.
Very cool.
All right. Well, that's it for the mailbag. Remember, if you want your answer. Nope, I'm saying that wrong. My brain is breaking. Your question answered. Bing, there it is. If you want your question answered here live on the show, then you can write in either on our website, supergamerboys.com, or if you join us over on a Discord, supergamerboys.com/Discord. I might need to check that link, actually, because we got a new website. That might not work. If it doesn't work, I'll figure out how to make it work. Supergamerboys.com. Yeah, supergamerboys.com/Discord, and you can join our Discord for free, hang out with us during the week, talk about what you're playing. But yeah, it's another thing. If you support us on Patreon, then you can leave your questions on the show notes. It's a fun way to do it. All right, and with that, it's now time for the nerdy nudes.
Should I do Adrian's?
I just realized we didn't talk about this before the show at all. I didn't know what to expect, honestly. That's not something I have to worry about normally. So if you would like to do it, you can. If not, we can just,
I can do it.
Okay.
Sure.
If you want to give it a shot, I would love to hear it.
It's now time for the nerdy news. I can't go as high as he does.
Perfect. That's fantastic.
I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, Adrian, we need you back.
I love it. Well, thanks for even attempting it. Because honestly, I don't even know if I've ever attempted it before. And it was always a JJ bit. So even when Adrian took it over, I was so happy because JJ did it back in the day. When Adrian came on, Adrian kept doing it. So it's always fun to hear people.
Mine was a horrible attempt. If I'm ever back on the show, I'll practice first.
Yeah, there you go. And you guys can do it together.
Yes,
a little duet. All right. Time for our news stories. This first news story comes from Screen Rant, written by, wait a second, Carrie Lambertsen. That's right. This is written by you. Do you want to read it or you want me to read it? I don't know which is better, you reading your own work or me reading it to you. You already know what it says.
Whatever, whichever way. I'd have to pull it up if I'm going to read it, but I can.
No. I can go ahead and read it. I just realized now, like, this is really funny, like, because normally I'm reading it to Adrian because he doesn't know it, but you know it. You wrote it. This is your article.
I wrote it.
Civilization 7 devs share why players should play through the tutorial even as a Civ veteran. As Sid Meier's Civilization 7 release date edges closer, many players are getting excited to jump into their first campaign in the new game. The massive 4x strategy simulation game.
Sorry, I'm going to correct you as you're reading it, but
that's fine. That's because honestly, like, this is a genre that I play very little of, so I'm not up on all the terminology. Massive 4X strategy simulation game has several major features that differentiate it from previous entries in the series. While these big changes were necessary for helping the series to grow and evolve rather than becoming stagnant, it could also prove frustrating for players who are expecting it to be similar to Civ 6. In a recent dev diary that was published on the Steam page for Civ 7, creative director Ed Beach shared some insights and tips for players to incorporate in their first campaign in the game. Alongside discussing the new victory types in this version of Civ, he also stressed the importance of playing using the tutorial and starting on a smaller map initially. Fans experienced with earlier Civ titles may scoff at the idea of playing with a tutorial on, but with so many of our game systems having received upgrades and revisions, we really do recommend sticking with the tutorial for your first full campaign through our 3 ages, Ed Beach says. The first experience with a game can make or break a person's desire to keep playing, particularly in a game where a single campaign can be quite time-consuming. Ensuring that someone is taught the basics before they are lost in a massive map with no tutorial to guide them can be significant given the intricate strategies that the game requires, and how many of those strategies used in previous Civ games are now turned on their heads. So that's kind of the gist for what we're going to be talking about here.
I will say that is really strange having my own article read to me.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was a little awkward. There is more to the article, which I highly recommend going and reading. But that's kind of the gist of it that we wanted to talk about tonight. Please go check it out. It's over at Screen Rant. Civ 7 devs share why. There's a lot of cool stuff just talking about some of the new stuff in the game. But what we wanted to discuss is just like tutorials in games in general. So let's start with Civilization 7, or just Civilization the series, because this is a series you're extremely familiar with, correct? You've been playing it for a long time.
I've played it. I played it since, the original back, in I think it was late 90s when the first one came out. And so, like, the reason why I sent this over to you is because even as I was, like, writing the article and reading the whole thing from Ed Beach, it's like, honestly, even though I've been writing articles for months now about all of the changes that are coming to Civ 7, I wouldn't play the tutorial. I would completely skip it because I played all of this. I played like 20 years of Civilization.
Wow, you are old. 20
I am
decades.
old.
Okay. Ooh.
20 years.
20 years, yeah. Totally. Yeah, like, that's a lot of history with a game. Like, you know this game, right?
Why play this game? Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be thinking that. But honestly, like, Civ 7 is like super, super changing up how a lot of things work. Like how you win the game is different. How you pick your leaders is different. How the civilizations are going to change with each age. Like, there are major big things that are changing here.
Oh, wow.
And so, like, I see his point about, just try the tutorial. And it's like, even as, like, I wrote this article helping to encourage people that, you should play the tutorial. And then the other day somebody asked me, well, are you going to play through the tutorial? I was like, oh no. I'm like, wait, maybe I should. Yeah. It's just like that instant gut reaction of, no, I don't need that. I'll skip that.
I know what I'm doing. I'm not an idiot,
So, like, do you ever do tutorials? Like, even new games that I've never played before at all, I usually skip the tutorial because I'm like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's interesting because I pretty much always do the tutorials to the fact, to the point of even like, if it's not initially, like if you start up a game and it doesn't give me the tutorial, I'll like look through the menus to find one and do it. Like, that's just me. But I'm also like a weirdo, like rule keeper. I can't help
That's
but
the better way to do it. Tutorials are there for a reason.
I'm just, I think also it also comes with like a little bit of that wanting to discover everything, like, like uncovering the map. It's that kind of thing too. Like, oh, what if there's like a cool little feature that I don't know about? How would I ever find out about it? I'm the weirdo who like, and as much as I sing this game's praises and I love it to death, Death Stranding, the way they give you the tutorial through the game is basically these weird little like emails you get. And you have the choice to either read them or not. I don't know. Have you played Death Stranding?
No, I haven't actually.
That, first of all, that's crazy. Secondly, you should play it. No, you have lots of other games we play. There's a lot of games. It
is actually one that is on my radar that I've thought about for, long time.
Yeah. But yeah, so you get like, I mean, there's some stuff in game and story and stuff, but a lot of the stuff is like, you get these little pings, these little emails, and or like a little pop-up will show up and you have like 2 seconds to read it. And if you don't, then you can go back and like your little, watch thing and watch it or read it later. But there's like, they break it up. There's probably like 200 little things in there that you get throughout the game, and they expect you to read every one of them. But you know what? I'm a madman, and I've read pretty much all of them. Even to the point where even when I was playing the director's cut, I'm like, oh, this is a new little tutorial. This wasn't in the original game. Like a new little feature they're showing off here. So yeah, that's just me. But
honestly, I mean, that's the better way to do it. Tutorials are there for a reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. It's just like something in my head. When I see a tutorial, I'm just like, don't tell me what to do. I'll figure this out. I'm a gamer. I know how to play games.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not doesn't always work the best. So
yeah, that's just funny because I mean, I was just gonna say like, oh, okay, so you got that little bit more rebellious personality. I'm like extremely submissive, like I'll do whatever you want, just tell me what to do.
But it's weird too because like I talk about, sorry, she's right in front of the microphone, but like I'll talk about how, you know, the tutorial just takes so long. I don't want to read all this. I don't want them telling me what to do. But then in a game like Skyrim or something, where there's, you know, the books scattered around with all the different lore.
Oh, yeah. All the
I would 100% read all those books. And it's like, fantastic. Why am I reading this? But I won't read how to play the game. So I don't know. But those things are interesting because it's all these little tidbits of lore that you never know, you never think about, unless you actually take the time to look at that. So
right,
I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. So talking about Civ 7 a little bit more here, I'm curious to ask you. I kind of skimmed through the article quite a bit earlier because there's, like I said before, there's more sections that go into some more detail on some different things. But looking at some of the changes coming to Civ 7, what are some of the things you are, like some of the new features you are excited about trying? Or have you
honestly
tried? This game isn't out yet, right? Comes out.
No, it's not. It I think early access starts this week though, actually.
Okay.
I want to. Oh shoot! I should know this. I think it's Thursday.
You got a lot. You probably on your plate at any given time.
No, I
you don't need to know this. That's fine.
I think it's Thursday is early access starts.
I could look at your article. It might say, honestly, you might say it.
I'm sure I've written about it, but no, like, so they really have changed up so much about this game. Like and they kind of, like I said in the article, they kind of had to, because I mean, Civ 6 is so ingrained in people's things, in people's minds. And with a thing like this, where it's a game about historical kind of stuff, it's like, you can't really change too much. Right.
I mean, when it's like, and it's a series that's been around for like 20 years now, 20 some years. It's like, it's one of those things where they have, the things have got to change, and it obviously can't be history too much. So it's got to be like some major gameplay shakeups, you know?
Although it is interesting that even though, like, I've always thought this game was interesting because it teaches me about history. Like, I've learned so much. I learned more history from playing this in high school than I did from going to history class in high school.
Oh, wow. That's awesome, actually.
But now this time around with Civ 7, they're changing it so any leader can be over any civilization in any age. So, like, you can play, Harriet Tubman as the leader of Egypt.
Oh, wow.
And in, like, the ancient era. And it's just like the mixes are kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, I kind of like that, because then it'll make every game very different.
Right.
Like, it's not just going to be, I'm playing as this one civilization and my opponents are playing as these civilizations, so this is just how it's going to be.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't know. So I'm excited for that. Like, it's going to totally take away from historical accuracy. But at the same time,
it can make for some fun, like, mix and matches, though. Like, like you said, to kind of make it fresh. Because, I'm sure it got to the point where it's like, oh, I'm going up against this civilization. The part, a good matchup, a good counter to that is this one, or I'm going to do this strategy. Like, you kind of just, it was predictable. Where to be able to mix a little bit.
Because each of the leaders have different traits and things that they're strong in, and then each civilization has different traits and things that they're strong in, and so kind of mixing things up a little bit, it just adds another layer of strategy. And kind I think as far as like the historical part goes, nobody's going to be confused and think, oh, Harriet Tubman was the leader of Egypt.
Yeah,
I mean, I think for the most part, people are going to recognize that that's not historically correct.
Right.
So.
At least we hope so. Maybe we have too much faith in people. I don't know.
It's true.
That's awesome. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've played a Civ game. Maybe like Civ 4? Yeah. Or 5? One of those.
I mean, the Civ games have kind of just been a staple for decades. So
I grew up, our family had we had Age of Empires on the computer. We had, there was another one. I've never heard of it again. So I don't know if they've maybe never come out with another game or something. I think it's called War of Empires.
I mean, there's a lot of them with those words in the titles.
I think it was called War of Empires.
Because there's Age of Empires.
Or Empire at War? I forget. No, that's a Star Wars game. That's a Star Wars game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it was very similar, but what was interesting to me is what I loved about this other game, whatever it's called, is it had you could start in the first epoch or epic or whatever they call it. And, it's like Stone Age. And then you work through all the different ones and go all the way up until there's futuristic, space bombers and nukes and stuff like that. And it's kind of, so it was
that's
a
what
race.
Civilization does.
Right. Okay. So it was it was playing off of that, but it just didn't have the leaders. So it was they took the more the gameplay of Age of Empires, but with having a wider range of history going on with the battles and stuff. And I always loved that game as a blast. But that's kind of was always my experience with RTS games, with and strategy games, with Age of Empires, that War of Empires, and then Warhammer Dawn of War. Probably that's my favorite RTS of all time. If they could just remake that, I'd be happy as a clam. But Civ is a game like I said, I think I've tried it once or twice. I might have gotten it free somewhere. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. But I feel like it'd be more fun with friends and stuff. Do you play typically online with your friends and stuff? It's a lot more fun with
people. Yeah. My brother always plays it, so I usually always play with him and a lot of people. I have some friends and stuff that play it, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely more fun with people, but at the same time, those games can go so long. We had a game that literally, we stopped it and we played the next day. And we had lots of people in this game, but it was 48 hours of gameplay. My
goodness.
Yeah. I mean, it probably wasn't actually that because we slept, but it was 2 days.
Yeah, it was 2 days worth of gameplay.
And it was just oh my gosh. But we also had one person who took forever with his turns. So we would take our turn.
I was always so slow.
I would go and make lunch and come back. Okay, it's my turn again. So I don't know. But one thing that Civ 7 is changing is with how it's broken up into 3 different ages. If you want a shorter game, you can just play one age instead of playing from you were saying the Stone Age to the Space Age. You can just pick a section, so that'll be nice for shorter games.
I get some short games in there. That's cool. Nice. Well, that's neat. I don't know, honestly, reading through this article and hearing some of the features from you, I'm I kind of want to try this out. It would be cool.
I'll play with you.
I haven't played I haven't really sat down and played a strategy game in a long time. Yeah. And it just sounds fun to kind of get back into, So maybe we'll see.
I'll play with you. We can play on stream.
Yeah, that would be fun. Do a few streams. A 48-hour game over the course of,
Yes, on stream.
We do a subathon and we just play Civ 7 for 24, 48 hours, whatever it takes. Subscriber, we're going to keep playing this game. We will not stop until we finish the goal.
Jeez.
That would be torture. That would turn me off from the game. It went from being this is fun. This is fun.
I think that would turn me off from it too.
It's bad.
I need to go pee.
Yeah. No breaks.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, let's move on to our next news story here. This next news story comes to us from Insider Gaming, written by Mike Straw. BioWare now has less than 100 people working at the studio. BioWare's headcount is, according to a new report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier, hang on. That is it. Sorry. That is a little bit of typo. It's okay. According to the report from Bloomberg Jason Schreier,
I sent you this article, but I did not write this one.
yeah. This is not this is not mine. Not yours. The company now sits at less than 100 employees after having over 200 people just 2 years ago. The report says that a number of employees who are put temporarily on new teams were informed that those moves were permanent. No longer were they BioWare employees helping out in a different area. Schreier's report also corroborates Insider Gaming's exclusive report that dozens of people were let go as part of this wave of layoffs at the studio. If they want to work at BioWare again in the future, they would have to look for job openings and reapply, Schreier writes. He adds that for now, at least, a small team will work on the next game in the Mass Effect series. This team is being led by company veteran who oversaw the development on the original trilogy, as well as 2019's Anthem. The goal is to then expand as needed later on in production. As sources told Insider Gaming, after the memo from BioWare was released, there is still an internal evaluation being done in order to see where things can be improved. There is still a worry from those who spoke under the condition of anonymity that more layoffs and moves within the studio are coming. Neither EA nor BioWare have responded to multiple requests for comment on the state of things at the studio. How sad is that for them to put out?
That's so sad.
They just put out a new game like 4 or 5 months ago, right?
They just put out Dragon Age Veilguard. A huge game that did really well. And I mean, this is the Dragon Age company. This is Mass Effect. This is, I mean, they did one of the Star Wars games, I think.
Yeah, no, BioWare is like,
this
that's
is
a big
huge
name.
Company. So to have less than 100 employees now, it's just sad.
Yeah, it's almost like, I was going to say, it's like, well, like maybe they're thinking about just closing the studio altogether. But I mean, apparently they have a Mass Effect game coming.
Yeah, they have a Mass Effect coming out.
So I don't know. It's just weird. Now, BioWare
and it's not like it's a studio that's losing money. Like these are big games that are making them money. Yeah,
big blockbuster, like tentpole games. Yeah. BioWare is owned by EA, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I mean,
they at least used to be. I think they still are.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's just so sad. I'm just trying to like even rationalize in my head, like what?
Yeah.
Why would this be a great, a good choice to do? It just seems so crazy for like, all right, we got this big game coming out. I'm sure there's still updates and like patches that need to happen for a Dragon Age. And they're just like, nah, see you guys. Imagine going into work too and being like, oh, I'm just helping this team out. It's a temporary thing, I'm over. And then they're like, oh, don't come back. Actually, you're going to stay over there. Like at least they didn't get laid off like some of the other people did. But
well, some of them did,
like,
yeah.
But some did get laid off. But even that would just be so jarring to be like, wait, what? Like, I wanted to work at BioWare, not this other support studio.
Like I just helped you put out Dragon Age.
Yeah.
Although if I might be wrong on this because this is just in my memory and I don't trust my memory all the time. But I want to say that they were actually kind of upset about the sales of Dragon Age. Even though I think I remember seeing that as well. Did do good, it was like it wasn't good enough for what the developer, basically the probably EA or whatever, the head honchos thought it should be doing.
Right.
But I mean, it's a fantastic game. I love Veilguard. I beat it and I want to go back and play it again.
Yeah, I've heard great things. People who played it really loved it. I didn't get a chance to try it, but so here's an article from Bloomberg. Veilguard sold 1.5 million copies in the first quarter, which is 50% below EA's expectations.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it was something like that.
They're hoping for...
So that's probably also why they're like, well, this was a failure. We got to lay people off, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, no, not... Like, I don't know. Yeah. And this is becoming more and more of a trend where we've reported on this a lot. I shouldn't have reported. We're not reporters. We talked about it a lot on our podcast where there's these articles that come out and it's just like, like a bunch of layoffs. And it's because they weren't happy with sales of X, Y, and Z. And it's like, what the heck? Like, what are you talking about? Like that game sold so good. It just seems like more and more like the expectations are becoming more like unrealistic. And I don't know why that is, because it's almost like there's one or two outliers, but then everyone just assumes no, that's the norm. Like this is what everything has to do. It's like, no, like those are just like unique circumstances, big blockbuster, like PlayStation exclusives or whatever. Like even apparently Indiana Jones is selling well, like stuff like that, like Xbox is at. But like,
I think they thought Veilguard was going to be Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Like, I think they thought it was going to be like that.
Yeah. Something, but I just think back last year when Rebirth came out and Square Enix was like, it didn't sell as good as we thought. We're really bummed out about that. So what are you talking about? Like, I don't know exact number off the top of my head, but like, I'm sure Rebirth sold extremely well. And
it's going to sell even more when Part 3 comes out.
Yeah. And it just launched on PC last week. So I was like, I'm sure they're making a ton of sales now off PC. Part 3 comes out. They're going to sell more.
Yeah.
But
so I know there's a lot of people that are waiting for like all of it to be done.
Right. Just play through all of it in one go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's sad. It just comes down to a lot of times. I'm not going to generalize, say every time, but a lot of times it's just corporate greed. They're like, oh, sorry, you're not doing what we want. So we're just going to cut it. It's like, oh, these are actual people.
What we expected.
These are people's lives. It's not just numbers. Yeah. These are people's lives. And all right, didn't meet your expectations, but it wasn't a failure. It just wasn't exactly what you wanted. But it's, boy, made a lot of money still. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
and it's
hopefully, it sounds like everything I've heard. It's fantastic. So, well, hopefully those people can find some jobs, land back on their feet. It's interesting that they mentioned like, oh, if they want a job back here,
they're going to have to reapply.
They can reapply. So it's like, it sounds kind of like negative, but at the same time, it's like, well, at least they're even allowing them to do that. Some companies might cut you and be like, sorry,
that's true.
Peace. Like we're parting ways for good. So, but who's going to want to do that after getting cut and be like, I'm going to go work in the same company that fired me,
Yeah. It seems a little risky.
I don't know about that. Yeah. Not so sure.
Yeah.
So sad to hear, but yeah, hopefully they can get back on their feet. And I guess I'm curious again, what a Mass Effect will look like, or the Mass Effect game they were working on with such a small team, because that's a big game, I assume. And
well, they did say that as they get further in development, they're going to hire more people for it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
Because they're going to need a bigger team for Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's what I'm thinking. I was like, less than 100 people working on this giant game. Yeah. It's going to be 15 years before you see that. But if they ramp up, get a few more members on the team. But again, they've had these big layoffs. I just feel like people are going to be scared to go work at Bioware. Like, oh, they've had cuts.
Well, I think nowadays people are scared to go work at any video game company.
Yeah,
everybody's having this.
Yep. Well, hopefully those people land on their feet and I don't know. I guess go play Dragon Age. Prove BioWare wrong. Be like, hey, we like this game. Hire these people back. I don't know if that's how that works. Probably not. It's too late for that.
The sad thing is that now, even if it sold, billions of copies, it's not like they would go and hire everyone back. They would just be like, oh, hey, look at that. We have money.
We're making a bunch of money. We made the right choice.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that wasn't the message.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit this last news story real quick. There's not much here, but I just want to give a little update because over at Game Rant, now maybe this is a weird question to ask. Game Rant, Screen Rant, are they connected?
We are owned by the same company, but we are not, like, I don't talk to anybody at Game Rant or anything. Not that I don't like them, but like we are connected.
They're our biggest rival.
They're a rival.
You heard it here first. Carrie hates Game Rant. No, just kidding.
But no, Game Rant, Screen Rant, and a couple others are all under the same umbrella. But
all right, yeah. I've noticed Game Rant come up a few times.
Screen Rant is way better.
Yeah, I've noticed Game Rant articles pop up a few times, and what always catches me is like the logo is very similar.
Yeah,
like almost identical, other than the words. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. But
honestly, I very, very much value and love my job at Screen Rant Gaming, but I do think that it's really weird that Screen Rant has a gaming site when we also have Game Rant.
Yeah,
because Screen Rant is mostly for like the TV, the movies. anime, all those kinds of things. So
Right.
I don't know. It is strange, but it's also, I'm very grateful for my job.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Well, then I'll just throw this article away. I'm not going to read this one. So, no, just kidding. PlayStation reveals when the 30th anniversary themes are being removed. It's written by Dalton Cooper over at Game Rant. So Sony has confirmed that the popular PlayStation 30th anniversary themes will be removed on Friday, January 31st. So they are gone as of 3 days ago. Sony celebrated the 30th anniversary with special hardware and dynamic themes that served as throwbacks to its classic consoles. You could change the dashboard, PS1, PS2, PS3, and PS4 themes, which I loved. Like I set it to PS1 and I was happy. PS1, hearing that boot up sound again. Oh, it's fantastic.
I liked
absolutely phenomenal. But apparently, so taking to Twitter, Sony's confirmed that they're being removed. But it says the company has acknowledged the positive response to the themes and is doing some work behind the scenes to bring them back in the months ahead. It's unclear if the themes will be permanent when they return, but it does seem Sony is at least listening to the fan demand for the anniversary themes. So this is, if anything, just a quick PSA. Hey, they're gone, but maybe we'll see them again. They could be coming back. I hope it's more permanent. I somehow doubt it. It might be just another event thing, but that is, I don't know. I think the biggest bummer though, is because they also respond to that and say, while there aren't plans to create additional themes in the future, we're excited to keep celebrating legacy PlayStation hardware with you all. So it's like they're willing to possibly bring back these ones, but why don't they?
Themes.
Why are they so against additional, like doing more themes for the PS5? Like that was so fun on the PS3 and the PS4.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The PS3 had so many good themes.
The dynamic themes were like the background to do stuff.
I just don't understand why. Like, I get them taking this off and saying that, it might be coming back there. But in so many of the different articles that I've read, I wasn't paying enough attention to see if it was in this one too, but they say that they are working towards bringing it back. Yes. They're already made. What do you have to work for? Like, what are you doing other than taking away the screen that says that it's for the anniversary event? I don't know. Like, I feel like, just flip the switch, just turn it back on, right? Cancel the deletion and just keep it. Like, I don't know what's there to work on. I don't know. Yeah. Unless there is more, they're going to tweak. Maybe they're going to add more to the themes. I don't know. Maybe they're going to make them a little more interesting, which, all right, cool. That's awesome. But that would be cool.
I half wonder if, I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah. Unless there's some weird, like, well, no, I was going to say maybe there's like weird licensing things, but they own it. It's theirs. It's their stuff. I have no idea. It's a strange comment, but they do say that, like, we're working on, we're working on some stuff behind the scenes to bring these back. It's like, just do it. You don't need to work on any of this. Just undo the damage you've done. Control Z.
You know? I don't know what they're working on for it. I imagine they have like a team of like 30 people that come into work and they're like, okay, well, we can hit undelete now.
Just put out a new.
I'm sure that there is more that they have to do for it, but I just don't know what it is.
No, it's definitely that easy. It's no, just kidding. I have no idea. But all right, so look forward to that potential, potentially coming back. At least we all have something to look forward to now. They could be back. I can have my PlayStation 1 theme once again.
I like the themes.
Yeah, me too. They're so fun. One of my favorites was back on PlayStation 3. I don't think I ever even like played the game. I got it free because it was like a free PlayStation Plus game when I got my PS3. But it was Infamous, but it was like the vampire one.
Oh, okay.
I forget what it was called. And I think I played like 30 minutes of it, maybe an hour. I played a little bit. I'm like, this is cool. This is fun. But it was weird because I didn't know the Infamous world. I never played at that point. I hadn't played like any of their Infamous games. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening though. Like, it's so weird. There's vampires. Like, I know that's not part of the main game, that there's vampires and stuff. But I also got with that, got like there's like a free dynamic theme with it. And it was like really cool. Like with like some of the characters in the back. I think it was like dynamic and moved a little bit. And like, I love the color of the icons, or like the like red and stuff like that. Like this blood red kind of like look. So that was like one of my favorite themes, which is funny because I never even played the game, but I was like, I love the theme. It was really cool. But man, or just being able to make your own themes too.
Yeah, I rotated through so many themes. I know I had the Ratchet and Clank one on for a long time, but Rift Apart, which one was PS3? I don't know, but
no, anyway. Rift Apart's the newer one, PS5.
Oh,
right?
No, you're right.
Was it? That was okay. PS3 days. That was when they were doing like the more like double entendre naming. So it was like up your arsenal and stuff like that. Where it's like very much like, oh, you're not even trying to be sneaky with it anymore. It's like, or was it just Ratchet and Clank? Or that was PS4. PS4 was when they rebooted it with Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time. I think that's one that I had
okay.
But yeah, and then there was Full Frontal Assault. My cat is trying to take down my curtains.
Oh no.
Yeah, they actually had a lot of Ratchet and Clank games on the PS3. But,
yeah, they came out with a lot. I just remember always having like the craziest names.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is fun. Oh man. All right. Well, that's it for the nerdy nudes. Now it is time for our Patreon ad. All right, this is the part of the show where I tell you to go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys and support us over there, starting at just $1 a month. That's right, $1 each every month gets you episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, as well as access to our Patreon exclusive shows, such as Super Later Boys, or previous seasons of Super Gamer Book Club. Season 1 is only available as a Patreon supporter, and all of our entire library of content ad-free should be up and over there. So think about supporting us over there at patreon.com/supergamerboys. $1, pretty good. We also have 3 other tiers. A $5 tier, you can support us there and get that previous perk plus show notes early, so you'll know exactly what we're going to be talking about when we do our shows here. You can leave your own questions, comments, concerns, thoughts right on the doc, so that way we can see it while we're doing the show. So if you want to share, answer Ranger's question about your guilty gaming habits, leave your comment down there with your little story. If you have thoughts on the new stories, drop it on there. If you want to tell us what you're playing, go ahead. Leave it on there for us to read and what your thoughts are. It's always fun when we get little comments like that. We don't get them often, but when we do, it's always a blast to read what people are up to. So
I think I left you guys a note one time just saying hi.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, sometimes people like Carrie just wrote and says, "Hey, just wanted to say hey," and that was awesome. So yeah, support us at $5 a month if you want to know get a little sneak peek on what the episodes are going to be, and be able to kind of have your voice heard on the show. $10 a month, you can be a Super Gamer sponsor, where you can get all those previous perks and a big old shout out at the top of each and every episode. Then we got the top dog tier, Patreon producer, $15 a month. You can support us over there, get all those previous perks, and the ability to pitch us a show segment if you want to. We haven't had it very often. What's really funny, I was going through our Patreon producer list, and now I think we're up to like 4 now. And I think Kajoma's the only one who's like took us up on that, where it was actually like he did like Kajoma's card game corner for a little bit, but that is a perk if you so want to give that a shot. You know, you can pitch a segment either for this show, something outside that we do on social media, something else on YouTube. If you have any cool idea that, you know, you'd love to hear, see us do, or if you want to do it, and send it our way to upload, then let's talk about it. Let's have a chat. And that's part of that $15 Patreon producer perk. That's how Adrian got started. He was a Patreon producer and would send us a little segment called Super Indie Boys, where it's just like a little 2-minute video of showing off new games with a little commentary over the top. And we would play it in the middle of the episode. And that's how Adrian started out. And then until we eventually asked him to be on the show full time. But we've had a lot of fun bits through the years. And all thanks to Patreon supporters support and those Patreon producers coming up with some mighty fine ideas. So think about supporting us. Patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys. We'd very much appreciate it. You can also support us over at sgbstore.com, buy some sweet merch. Hey, it may be the dead of winter, but we still got Summer Gamer Boys going strong over there. Because you know what? Sometimes it's just too hard to log in and turn stuff off. And honestly, there's a couple pieces I still want to purchase that I haven't gotten a hold of. So if you're like me,
if somebody's looking for some swim trunks to go, on a cruise or something. Yeah,
exactly. We got you. Like we got the hookup over here. We got you set up. Honestly, the swim trunks, they're pretty bomb. So if anyone's interested, check them out. I wore mine a few times this last summer. They're pretty great. But yeah, if you're looking for some merch for our podcast and you want to help support the show, sgbstore.com, go check it out. We got some fun stuff, stickers, coffee mugs, t-shirts, you name it. There's some fun stuff. Go find it, buy it, and help support the show. And then last but not least, if you're watching over here at twitch.tv/thesupergamerboys, you can support us here for free. Doesn't cost you a thing if you have an Amazon Prime account. If you subscribe to Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account. Use that free Prime gaming subscription. Cost you $0. That's right. Well, other than the price of the Amazon Prime, but you're already paying for that, right? You got to get that. You can't live without the free 2-day shipping. That's so use that Amazon account, link it to your Twitch, and drop that sub on our channel. We'd very much appreciate it. Remember, it doesn't auto-renew each month, so you have to remember to go back in there each and every month and give it to someone. So if you don't give it to us, at least give it to someone. Don't let Jeff Bezos pocket that money, because we all know he's probably just gonna throw it in one of his spaceships, shoot it off into space and into the sun. So he doesn't have any use for it. Right? That's exactly what he's doing. I don't know. Who knows what they're doing in space up there, but probably that. All right. Well, that is it for the ad. Now, let's get back to the show. All right, we're back, and I've been dying to ask you all night, and now I finally have my chance to ask you the most important question you've probably been asked this week, maybe even this month, maybe even this year, honestly. I mean, we're not far into the year, but...
Yeah, this year isn't very much.
Yeah. Carrie, I want to know, what you playing?
Everything.
Everything. All of the above.
I have way too many games that I'm playing at once. I don't even know what I put in the show notes anymore because I'm just playing everything. I actually have I'm playing 2 games for review right now, which normally when you're reviewing a game, I'm not allowed to even acknowledge that I have a review code, that I'm reviewing a game, that I'm playing it until the embargo is up. But in this case, I didn't get to see the contract agreement, but there's no embargo because the games are already out. So I'm thinking I can go ahead and acknowledge it as long as I don't, give my review on here before I actually write the review.
Now, are you 100% sure about this? Because I don't want to be the reason you lose your job. I would feel so terrible if you're like, yep, I lost my job because I talked on your dumb podcast. Okay, then.
Both of them, they're already out, so I'm thinking I'm not going to go into detail, but I will just say I've been playing The Sims 1 and 2 Legacy Editions.
Oh.
And check screenrant.com/gaming on probably like Thursday. I'll have the review up. I need to play a little more and write about them. But Sims 2 has been crashing a lot. And it's been, that is not like, I know I can say that because it's been all over the news. They definitely have some issues with that right now. But they also have been putting out a lot of things saying that they are aware of it. They are working on it, So, excuse me. So it is cool, though, to be able to have The Sims 1 and 2 on, modern PCs. It's not on console, I don't think. I think it's just PC.
Okay.
But like, I played The Sims 1 back in, I think it came out in 2000. I played The Sims 1, The Sims 2, all of them back in the day. So the nostalgia factor is definitely there.
Oh, totally. That's great.
But I'm not going to go too deep into them because, like I said, I don't really know what I'm allowed to say.
Yeah.
So
sure.
check Screen Rant.
Check Screen Rant for that review coming up. Probably, if this comes out Wednesday, check it out tomorrow. Thursday, right? You said Thursday, maybe?
I'll probably have it up Thursday. Yeah.
Sweet.
I want to play a little bit more, and I want to test out mods on it and stuff. But
fun.
Yeah. Because that was my biggest thing, like, back in the day. I modded the heck out of those games. That's how I learned how to, do a lot of the stuff on the computer was modding The Sims.
Yeah, right.
So
that's funny.
I mean, but otherwise, besides that, I am playing a ton of Infinity Nikki. I am hooked on that game.
So what is this game? Because I feel like I just see like random trailers here and there, and I just give it a bad rap because
so many people just think it's like a dress-up game. But it's so much more than just a dress-up game.
Okay.
Yes, it is a dress-up game. Yes, it is a gotcha game. It definitely has the gotcha mechanics. But it's also got dungeons and killing monsters and a really deep involved story campaign. And it's really cool.
Okay, all right.
And I will admit, I am 100% guilty of being one of those people that before it came out, it's just like, it's just a little dress-up game. It's not going to last. It's not, whatever. Right. But I immediately got hooked.
Okay.
And
so like, the gameplay, is it like, because again, like from the trailers and stuff, it's not very helpful, but there's combat in it? There is combat? There is combat. Okay.
So you're playing as Nikki. It's a single player game only. Okay. But you're playing as Nikki, and so basically there's two different types of clothing outfits that you can change into. You can change outfits just to look pretty and to collect things and stuff like that. But then there's also ability outfits. Okay. And the ability outfits are like, if I see a monster out in the overworld, I can click to purify it. You're killing it. You're shooting a big old laser thing at it, but you're purifying it.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And she'll automatically put on, like, just, in a blink of an eye, just boom, she's in this ability outfit to shoot the laser. Or like if you're going to, go fishing, she has to put on her fishing outfits and different things like that. But it happens
you can't fish
instantly.
Without the fishing outfit. Come on.
Of course. But yeah, like they happen instantly though. And that's what I was afraid of when I was first looking into the game. I was like, am I going to have to like go into the, thing and like totally change her outfit every time I'm going to like fight a monster? Right. But no, those things happen just instantly.
Okay. Now, is there like, because I guess another, something what I've picked up on, again, I don't know if it's actually true, but from the trailers and stuff, I almost assumed it was almost like a Stardew Valley type game. Like, is there actually like any sort of farming or gardening or anything, or no, it's not?
In the future, they will be adding an update, and by in the future, I mean, this could be like a year from now. They're going to be adding an update where you can have your own house to decorate.
I see.
But right now, no, you're just... You don't, there's no farming, there's nothing like that.
Just outfits and purifying monsters.
It's actually been more, like I've seen a lot of people compare it to Genshin Impact. And I mean, it's not a perfect comparison, but it's more like Genshin Impact than it is Stardew Valley, if that makes sense.
I see. Okay.
So, and it is a live service game, so there's constantly, things that they're trying to get you to spend money on. Things like that. But yeah, and there's quests, there's things. Honestly, the story is so good.
Oh, really? Okay.
The story is what got me.
That's hilarious.
People are falling into comas, and there's like dreams are being stolen away, and it's
oh wow,
it's really interesting. It's really kind of cool. I finished the story now as far as you can get for what's out right now, which bugs me because I want to know more.
Yeah, right.
But
so it's basically kind of an early access though, right? Like that's essentially like, or it's just like in progress.
It's out, but it's like a live service ongoing thing, kind of like Genshin Impact, where they're going to keep coming out with, the story is going to keep growing.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Huh.
So yeah,
You're the first person I've ever heard who's playing it. I think I've seen trailers for it a few times. I'm always like, what is this weird game? Like, what the heck is this?
I did not expect it to hook me as much as it did.
That's great. That's awesome.
And it's free to play. So if anyone's interested in it, you should try. I mean, the gacha themes are heavy. Like, it will try to get you to spend money, but it's free to play. So
I mean, for free, I'll try anything for free, Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, then there's a whole bunch of other games I'm playing as well.
Yeah,
but
I see you've been playing TCG Shop Simulator.
Yes.
Now, this is a game I've watched. There's a guy on Twitch. We've rated him a couple times. A Dark Legacy on Twitch. He's a fantastic dude. If you want, his whole thing is just giving away free Pokemon cards. He's an awesome dude. Love him. But he played TCG card Shop Simulator for like a few weeks, and he was super into it. And so it was like fun watching him play it. And then I don't know, watching him, the whole time I'm like, oh man, I need to get this game. I need to pick this game up. And I don't know why I haven't, but honestly,
and this one is in early access too.
I saw your nose. This is so good and everyone should get this. I was like, 100%, like, I agree. I haven't even played it and I'm like, yes, everyone needs to play this game. It looks so freaking good.
It's so fun. It's like, think of Supermarket Simulator, but in a card shop, like Pokemon cards and stuff. It's so fun. I actually bought a copy for a guy who runs like, he's not the owner, but he works at our local game store card shop. Okay. I bought a copy for him. It's funny. Awesome. And you can spray people with deodorant if they stink. Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's like when I was watching ADL play, he was like, yeah, you put like the deodorizers like around the room and stuff too. It's just,
you can just chase them around with a can of deodorant.
Stinky card players. I think this is hilarious. And then also just wasting so much money ripping packs for himself. Like, like, honestly, that's what I would probably do. Like, cause that's,
well, and you're not wasting money because then you can sell the cards.
Exactly. Like, I've realized more and more as I've gotten older, like with Pokemon, I love Pokemon, love opening packs. TCG Pocket, it's been amazing because for the most part I can open packs free, but this is like one step further. It's not as satisfying
as like having an actual card.
Yeah, not quite the same, but I know. But what I've realized is like I just like the surprise, or like not knowing what I'm going to get. So like whether it's physical or digital, like that's I would have realized kind of gives me that little dopamine kick kind of thing. Yeah. And so like honestly, when I saw that in the game, I'm like, I need to buy that game because it's a one-time fee and I can just rip packs as much as I want.
And there's a lot that's going to be coming too. It's just early access right now, and it's like he's got a roadmap. I don't know if it's a he or she. They've got a roadmap. And like they're going to be adding so much stuff to it, and there's even mods. So if you want it to be like actual Pokemon cards, you can get a mod for it.
Oh, that's legit.
Because right now, like the game, for licensing, they have it be Tetramon, and they have their own made up things.
Which they're really cool. Like even the Tetramon, I'm like, oh, this is really fun. But yeah, to have a mod.
But yeah, you can get a mod and do actual Pokemon.
Man. All right. Well, I might be buying this tonight then. That's a done deal.
It's so much fun.
I'll need to see.
There are so many nights that I'll have just like Critical Role on the TV and I'll be playing this on my Steam Deck. And that's just like my whole night. Like it's just so chill and so just perfect. It's just cozy.
So good. So good. Well, any other games you want to share with us?
I mean, I play everything. I've been playing a little bit of the Diablo 7, or Diablo 4 Season 7. Okay. But they are going through a lot of issues right now with their season. They had to like nerf a whole bunch of stuff. So I need to get back in and see what all has changed. But they've been having some issues with that. It's a fun season. But and then I picked up Hello Kitty Island Adventure this weekend. And it's so cute. It's basically like, it's like Animal Crossing with Sanrio characters.
Okay, all right. I get behind that.
But yeah, like I will admit, I had that little bit of a, I'm a 40-something-year-old lady that's downloading Hello Kitty, but hardcore gamer here. But it's really fun. It's cute.
That's awesome.
It's very cute. I don't know that it's going to be as big as Animal Crossing.
Okay.
I don't even know how long I'll keep playing it, to be honest. But it is really cute. It is really fun.
That's awesome.
And that just came out like a couple days ago.
Yeah, I remember seeing like on Instagram, I think IGN or GameSpot, one of the people like posted about it. I think they posted a review. I can't remember what score they gave it off the top of my head now, but I just remember seeing it and be like, oh, what the like I didn't even know. This is so funny to like see that. Like, and that for that to be a game and for that to be a game that like they even care to like review. Like that's I feel like it's one of those games.
We reviewed it too, but I didn't do that one. So I'm thinking Caitlin did. I'm gonna just double check and see what I didn't even look at her review for it.
Oh man. Doppelmonger in the chat says a lot of people play it for the memes, and that's true. Like 100%. I think most people are gonna play it for the memes. But I mean, what's funny though is like if it's a good game, it's a good. If it's a fun game, it's a fun game. It might not be a good game, but if it's a fun game, like who cares? Like
on Screen Rant. On Screen Rant, my friend Caitlin gave it a 9 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. So, okay.
I mean,
sounds like a great game then.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
9 out of 10. That's yeah.
Sorry, TCG Shop Simulator. Sorry, TCG Shop Simulator. I'm buying Hello Kitty Island Adventure instead.
Well, you have to weigh the options.
Maybe my kids would play it. I mean, my oldest Shepherd, he's 7. He's been playing through Mario Odyssey on his own. No help from me. And he's like doing so good. I'm actually really proud of him because that's great. He played through like him and so Shepherd 7, Griffin's 4. They played through the Kirby Forgotten Lands. That was called.
Yeah, I think you talked about that on another show.
They played that through that co-op together, but they needed my help from time to time. Like some of those bosses are hard, so I had to jump in there and like help them with some stuff. Yeah. But with Mario Odyssey, it has the assist mode, so it has like the arrows is kind of like pointing in a direction you got to go, and helps you collect all the moons you need to get to the next area. And he's like flying through it. I'm so surprised. I'm like, this is awesome. Like I haven't helped him one time. He's up to like what's the world with like all the food and the volcano, the pot on the top.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since I played Odyssey.
Yeah. Like, it's a pretty good chunk into it. And I don't know. It's been really cool to see him play that. But so now I've been trying to think of like more games that are like, oh, what's something else he could play? He still like doesn't know how to read.
Hello Kitty really is basically like Animal Crossing. Yeah, in a lot of ways.
So. He liked Animal Crossing, but the problem is he doesn't quite know how to read. Like great. Like he's learning how to read, so he can like read some stuff, but like. He's just in like first grade or whatever. Like he's figuring it out at this point. He's still trying to figure it out. And so it's like Animal Crossing is tricky because it's not voice acted at all. And but so it's like trying to find a game where like, okay, where's a game that's going to talk to him and kind of help guide him. That's why I'm surprised with Mario too. Like that's all just text, but he just skips it. He's like, whatever. He just enjoys fighting the monsters.
You should have him come on and just give it like a little review of Mario Odyssey or something.
That would be fun. That would actually be a lot of fun. Maybe when he finishes it, you can do his Mario Odyssey review.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I guess what I've been playing, I haven't been playing much. Like I said, I went on the trip, so I played Baldur's Gate 3. That's pretty much it. And let me tell you, that game is a freaking blast to play couch co-op. I'd played it co-op with friends before, like online, and that was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was incredible. But sitting on the couch, same couch with your buddy and like sitting there and being able to actually just talk and, laugh and eat snacks and play on the same TV and on the same screen. Like, I don't know. There's just something so nostalgic about it. Like I haven't played a game like that in, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. I can't remember the last time I sat on the couch other than like Mario Kart. But that's different, like this type of thing, like was probably like when I played Diablo 3 with him like 12 years ago, like that's the last time it has probably happened. So it just felt so good. It was so much fun. But I jumped in with his save. So that's what's cool with Baldur's Gate is anyone can jump in at any point of your saves. Mm-hmm. So like it's kind of like drop in, drop out co-op. So he was like towards the tail end of Act 2, which was kind of a jarring because I hadn't even finished, Act 1 in my game, or I think I just finished Act 1.
Oh, so you didn't even know what was happening.
So story-wise, I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but it was still such a blast. We finished Act 2 together, so like fought like Merkel and all these other crazy stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on, but this is freaking amazing. yeah, I don't. It's that feature alone just kind of surprised me. I didn't realize they had that where you could just like, oh, pick up a save. Someone could drop in. Oh, okay. See ya. Now they're out. I'm really dying for them to bring crossplay in though, because I own Baldur's Gate 3 on PC. He has it on PS5, and we were wanting to play. He just got a PS5 at the beginning of January, and we've been wanting to play Baldur's Gate 3 together since he got it, but it was like back in November they announced they're doing crossplay, but they still haven't put it out. So I'm like, please, Larian, put out crossplay so we can play again, because I'd love to pick that save up again with them and keep going. But I was
surprised in this day and age that they didn't launch with crossplay. Like it's just such a given nowadays.
Yeah, but, nowadays it's like it's crazier to not see it.
Yeah.
But here we are. So hopefully it comes out soon so I can play with them again, because I'm excited to get back in that world, or even start a new save. I think that would be a blast to do like maybe that'd be something we could do.
Play the whole game like together would be fun.
On streams, every other Monday when we have our off weeks, like start doing Baldur's Gate. I need to get Adrian on there too. I don't even know if Adrian's even played Baldur's Gate. That'd be so fun to do like a Super Gamer Boys campaign.
That'd be really fun.
But yeah, that's about it. I think I put like 30 minutes into Resident Evil 4. I'm really enjoying that game. I just haven't had time for games, unfortunately. But that game,
it's hard when you're traveling and stuff too.
Yeah, it's tricky. I wanted to play on my Steam Deck. I took my Steam Deck with me. I intended to play on the plane, but I ended up binging Severance, like I talked about earlier. So didn't play any games, just watched a whole entire season of his show, which was worth it. It's a fantastic show, which you all should go watch. All right. Well, that is it for this episode. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate each and every one of you. Seriously, you guys are all awesome. We are thankful that we have people who take time out of their days to watch our stuff on YouTube, listen to us later on podcast feeds. Maybe I can learn to talk one day. I don't know. We'll see. If you really love what we do and you want to support us a little more than just listening and watching, which by all means, if that's all you can do, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. But if you are able, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/SuperGamerBoys, where you can support us over there for as little as $1. And like we talked about in the ad, we got this, 4 different tiers, 1, 5, 10, and 15 with various perks. And so if you'd love to support us, go over there, check that out. And be awesome, just like the rest of those folks that you'll see a lot of their names in the show description. We list them out on there. If you want to support us in another way, get something a little more physical, tangible that you can even help spread the word of Super Gamer Boys, sgbstore.com, buy some merch, get that t-shirt, get a hoodie, get that coffee mug you can use at work, have a little logo and our little faces on there looking back at you. Go ahead and check that out, sgbstore.com. Rate and review us where you can, whether it's Apple Podcast or Spotify. Spotify has reviews now. We don't have any reviews over there. Not that I've noticed. Maybe we've gotten some recently, but drop some 5 stars, leave a comment, whatever they allow you to do. Head over to Spotify and show them that you love us. So then they show our stuff off to more people. That'd be awesome if you did. Shout out to Jack, Sriracha, Yate, and DJ Trooz for allowing us to use their music on their show. Tonight, we've been listening to Jack, Sriracha, and Yate. Show them some love. Links are in the description for Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can find their stuff over there. They are some awesome dudes who make the music and allow us to use it for free. So the least we can do is go show them some love, listen to their stuff, get them, up the rankings on their respective music services. Last but not least, you can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I am on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Carrie, where can the fine folks find you at?
Oh, I don't know. I am on everything. I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. I believe I'm just Carrie Lambertsen on most of them except Twitter. I think I'm Crafting Rogue. But also, if you go to Screen Rant Gaming and find any of the articles that I've written and click on my name, it's got all of the links to my social medias on there too. So. Yeah,
I'll be sure to link everything in the show description. So if you want to find her, just check the description and hopefully I'll have most, if not all, the links on there. to find
most places,
her.
I think I'm just Carrie Lambertsen.
Yeah.
SEN for Lambertsen.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you joining us this week, filling in for Adrian. Even though,
miss you, Adrian.
Rest in peace, Adrian. You know, rest in peace. But yeah, thank you so much. And I don't know what to do here because normally Adrian takes us out. But I guess, well, do you have any other plugs? I realize you plugged your social media. Is there anything else you want to shout out?
No, not
really. Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
TCG Shop Simulator. Everybody should go buy it because it's awesome. I am technically on a Supergroups superhero D&D-ish show, also podcast. It's just called Supergroups. I know that if you go to Mating Habits of the Modern Geek, my sister-in-law, is the one who kind of like has put it all out. I honestly don't know where you can find it. So I should have looked this up before I got on here. But yeah, I'm also on that show. We don't record all that often, so the episodes come out pretty far apart. But my brother jams it. My sister-in-law is on it. And then we've got a couple friends, one friend that's in London, one friend that's in California. So we're all over the world.
Wow, that's awesome.
But yeah, we have a lot of fun on there too. I get to play a superhero with blink powers, teleport powers. And I have a little capybara, like furry companion with me. So.
That's amazing.
Captain Snugglefoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'll try to find the links to that.
Find links, send them to me. I'll put them in the description. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll find the links to that. I didn't think about that until just now when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on something else.
Yeah. Very cool. All right. Well, at this point, Adrian usually goes on and says, thank you all sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening, for supporting, whether it's, supporting just by sharing or supporting financially. Every little bit of that you guys do for us helps, and we appreciate it. And it makes this whole thing so incredibly fun to do when we know that there's a bunch of people out there enjoying it. Even if we didn't have all love and support, it's a fun excuse to get together with friends and talk about video games. But man, having you guys out there in the community makes it all the better. So thank you. We appreciate you. And I guess with that, we are the Super Gamer Boys. And
friends.
Do you want to say it? Is it we are the Super Gamer Friends? And I don't know. Do you want to take us out? You want to say what I normally say?
No, because I don't remember what you normally say.
Okay, that's fine. Most people don't listen to the end of the podcast anyway. We are the Super Gamer Friends, and we'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Flippity flop. I remember it once you started saying it.
All right. Rest in peace, Adrian.